Hey, good evening and good morning for some of my friends coming from the US. Good afternoon, whoever is having the lunch. I will just finish the lunch, and good evening to my Indian friends. A warm namaste from me. My name is Ashish Sadekar, and I am going to talk about a very interesting topic about what are the competencies required for an agile coach, or what makes an agile coach. Very interesting, because I think many people ask me this question: why what it takes to be an agile coach, how it is different from, say, a scrum master, what are the skill sets required to be an agile coach, why it is so much in demand. So there are a lot of these questions around what it takes to be an agile coach, and that's something in vogue right now. A lot of organizations are asking for this skill set for this agile coach. I see many people kind of requiring enterprise coaches or agile coaches, as agility is being practiced all over the projects. But many people, in fact, do not know what are the competencies required for the agile coach, what constitutes agile coach. And there is a lot of literature online available as well. So I'm going to explore some of the bits. It's some of the research that I had done, some of my experiences, some of the experiences by talking with practitioners, some of the experiences which I had garnered through some consulting assignments. So let's talk a little bit about all these things. So great. So this is something about me. Okay. No, I run ProThoughts. ProThoughts focuses on project management. Very proud that we have started some 9 years, and we are growing in many countries, and we are customers from 50 countries so far. So very happy about that. So one of the things is that I love project management, and I love what I do. And today's webinar is a good testimony for that. So great. So nice to have you all. Okay, many people are joining. Okay, many people joined between 8 to 8:05. Okay, so all are welcome. Thanks for joining. We got a good response to this webinar topic. There were many registrants. I hope many people join, attend as well. So thank you so much for joining this webinar. So I'm going to talk about a little bit things about the competencies, and I'm going to refer majorly the Atkins coaching competency model, which was a revelation when I was first introduced. And many people might be knowing. For some people who are not knowing, it might be a good revelation for them as well. So that's something which, say, I see agile coach, or even a disciplined agile coaching, or all the agile coaching, use this as a good reference point about the competencies for coaching. So I'm going to go into some of the things. Then there is some expert, Mark Summers, who had done the competency wheel, and then we are going to talk about a little bit about disciplinary. Sorry about that. So now I think the competency agile coaching, a very confusing market today. Agile is, right. Everyone talking about agile. Everyone says they are practicing agile, but really it is happening or not, I am not too sure. Because in my opinion, there are, in my experience or what I have seen, there are some, my experience is a little limited or little skewed towards the Indian side of things. So I'm not sure about the other countries' experience, but uh, whatever I talk, I think there are a lot of places where agile is practiced in name only. They do the 5 ceremonies, but the mindset is still a little bit inclined towards the tradition. But these are the problem that I try to put it, that okay, what is agile coaching all about? Okay, no, many people do not know what is coaching, and then on top of it, what is agile coaching, and this confusion, according to me, has resulted in a lot of people qualifying. So I'm using a little tough kind of little extreme language, but there are many people who say they're Agile Coach. And no, so this is something which has resulted. There are a lot of certifications, there are a lot of designations, and is it really true, right? No, there are a lot of coaches, there are a lot of certifications, there are a lot of Scrum Masters, for example. Are we really doing what we require to do as a coach? I think that's very, very fundamental. You name it, I don't bother about designations, but that's what we need to figure out. And for that, I want to introduce the Atkins coaching competency framework. And it is also called X. If you remove these two lines, okay, it will also call the X model, okay. And it's nicely done, okay. It talks about typically eight kind of competencies that we are talking. And uh, I have made it a little kind of, I taken it from the internet, okay. Little verbose we have made it, otherwise there will be only these names, but I wanted a little verbose in that sense. But if you look at the bottom thing, I'm going to spend some time on this slide, okay, just to explain what it takes to become a agile coach. So this Lisa Adkins and Michael Spear, okay, in 2011, okay, they did this, and many certifications use this as a one of the fulcrum cornerstones, okay, to develop the skill sets for the agile. So every zone here, so the zone which we call it zone, or you call it space, like technical mastery or business mastery or transformation mastery, is a space by itself for facilitating professional coaches. Okay, and that's the stance you can take when you're approaching any coaching assignment, right? That's something which, that is a space that you operate in. That's a very, very big space. So when we call about technical mastery, let's go through the bottom of the competencies that we have, like technical, business, and transformation mastery. The technical mastery talks about, the technical expertise, okay. Like if you are doing a software project, it will talk about what are the technical details that you require to do that software project. If you are doing a marketing project, what are the technical know-how that you require to do the marketing side of things, right? Now, in ProThoughts, my marketing is a pivotal engine. So what are the technical details? Suppose I want to run a Facebook campaign, or the technical details on that Facebook is the technical mastery. So if I have, as a coach, do I possess that technical expertise? Is what we need to understand. Okay. Business mastery is about, as every organization delivers, creates value in terms of generating revenue, or delighting the customer. So the business mastery is about know-how of the business, okay. Can I introduce innovations, how I can increase revenues, how I can do better at my products or services, is the know-how, the competitor intelligence that you have, how you get the things done in your business, is the business mastery, right? And then transformation is, okay, like many people, many agile coaches use this as one of their competencies or strength, right? And there are a lot of certifications around that. The disciplined agile also talks about the DVAC, for example, talks a lot about the value stream consulting, which is about doing an agile transformation. And so it is not really required that you should be, okay, the best in all the things, okay. uh, you can be good at one thing, okay, and maybe you might have a foot in the door in technical, but you might be good at transformation, because that's how you have developed your strengths. Okay, hardly anyone who will be bingo in all the 8 competencies, but the idea is to have the know-how in lot of competencies rather than build in one. Okay, like for example, when I'm using agile and lean practice, it somehow overlaps, say, with the transformation mastery. So if I'm using a Kanban practice, okay, it can tell me how to use this in transforming the organization as well. So there are little overlaps there as well. But this competencies tell about, okay, where is your strength, where you want to gain expertise, and as a coach, you will try to build expertise in all the areas rather than one. Also, the if you have questions, guys, please shoot out in the chat or a question answer. I will be very, very happy to put the questions. Okay. Otherwise, I will be speaking as a monologue. Right. So the mastery word is basically a journey that you need to take to become a master. And mastery is not implied that you need to be a master in all these competencies as a coach. So that's what it indicates. Okay. uh, right, so moving ahead from this three competencies, and if you see the left side of the x axis, like teaching and mentoring, and the right side, which is professional coaching and facilitating, the left side, teaching and mentoring, is all about content. Okay, it's about content, and the right side is about, okay, process. Right, so teaching and mentoring is focused on delivering content, and coaching and facilitating is about how you get the things done. So there are differences there. And what happens is that many certifications or many people, okay, or many agile coaches focus on only this stance of professional coaching. You try to build as a coach, but that may not be suffice. You need to switch competencies as the situation demands. So you are introduced as a coach. I mean, maybe you need to do the teaching or the training part as the situation demand to make them aware on how to do things, right? So when I say teaching or training is offering the right knowledge at the right time. Okay, it's a fixed agenda like I'm doing right now. Okay, um, okay. So this is about getting the knowledge. Okay, and how to do things. So if it's a Kanban, how to use the Kanban in your transformation is about training. Okay, so there is a fixed agenda. Okay, there is a fixed outcome that you want to the, like, fixed takeaways. Like in webinar, there is a fixed takeaway. You are actually delivering that content in that fixed timeline. Whereas mentoring, it's like a little open agenda where, okay, you are delivering a little bit of confidence or guidance to the individuals who are seeking help. Okay, so you are sharing your experience so that the other person can do better. So the idea of mentoring is to make the other person grow in capability and capacity, right? So mentoring, another form of content, but without the fixed agenda. It actually is about sharing your experience because you've done it before, so that others learn from that, right? Generally, mentoring is delivered when somebody asks for a mentor. It's not a free mentoring. Okay, free will types doing that. So this is about content, whereas this coaching and facilitate about process. Now, when I say facilitating, it's impartial. Okay, you need to be unbiased. Okay, like a Scrum Master facilitates between the product owner and the team. Okay, so it's impartial or unbiased. Okay, like he guides the team in retrospective. So he is impartial in guiding the team. Okay, that is very important in facilitating, right? Whereas coaching is, a coach is always impartial, unbiased to the goal. He tries to achieve the goal for the team. Now, coach scope can be a team, can be an organization as well, but it generally starts with a team, right? Idea is to solve the problem and achieve a goal. Is in unbiased toward a goal. Okay, if you're biased in a facilitating or a coaching, okay, then it creates conflicts. So the idea is to be, okay, unbiased, and that's something which you need to know, be good at. Okay, uh, deliver that unbiased, impartial attitude. The idea of the coach is to inspire potential. Okay, uh, it's to know leverage. Okay, and I think that's a great challenge any coach should have. The greatest challenge is to honor the intelligence, okay, and the capability of the team with which you're working, because a coach will actually realize the potential of the team to deliver the outcome or solve the problem, right? So he challenges the team, okay, and makes them, one of the goals of a coach is to make the team self-organizing. Self-organizing, they will take their own decisions, right? So this is one of the very challenging aspects of the team. Okay, and many people actually are focused on developing the coaching stance or the coaching ability. I slightly differ, because when you are assigned as an agile coach or as a coach, right, you need to shift between the various competency rather than develop that one stance or the competency. Okay, I think great examples can be, cricketing, cricket coaches or the football coaches. Okay, they change stance. You are not always. The idea is to make the team self-organizing. Inspire potential, realize their potential. That's what is the coach will do. But they actually use, okay, different competencies to solve problems depending on the situation, right? So depending on the situation, they will try to, okay, get into problem solving. One of the other aspects, if you are dealing with agility, okay, one of the other aspects, sorry about that. One of the other aspects when you are dealing with agility is the know-how of agile and lean practices. Okay, it's a know-how of agile and lean practices. The more, okay, practices or the more methods in you, that will be better that you apply. Okay, conceptually you're better to solve problems. Okay, so I think that is also, with a chicken and egg. With more experience, you will get to know a lot of things, right? So I think getting exposed to that knowledge is also very, very important, and you will use that, okay, in a lot of your other competencies. So if you develop these competencies, okay, uh, then you are on your journey to become a agile coach. So this is one of the important factors I would call uh, on this. Yeah, there are some people who are joined new. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Great. So this is one of the things. Now, one of the key parameters of this coaching competency is balance and breadth. So now what is happening in lot of current environment, which I see, there are a lot of certifications, and the focus or the emphasis to get the job or develop is to, to become a coach. Your coaching competency is somewhere you get enhanced, and many people emphasize on that. In interviews, you select who is the good coach, knowing that the things he had done in that coaching stance. Okay, typically a coach asks a lot of questions to unearth the things, but that is not the only thing. Well, it if you do not show a good balance and breadth in terms of the competencies, I think you will be just good at agile. You will not be great as a coach. So I think these are the two keys, okay, I would say, to become a great agile coach. So the balance and the breadth. So try to develop competencies across, okay, the spectrum rather than developing in one spectrum. So there are, sometimes when I did a project, okay, we started with, okay, training, but as we were doing the training, we understood that no, they do not require training, and we need to change the stance to mentoring. Okay, that's what happened. No, so you have to change the stance as the situation demands, and you need to have the balance and breadth across the competencies. Some come with experience, of course. So, okay, the idea of this coach, okay, and I'm talking about professional coaching as a competency. No, typically, I think I know many people say that agile coaches are enterprise. I have a very different view. Uh, Agile coach primarily works with teams because teams manifest the organization. So if you help the teams solve their problems, if you help the teams to be self-organizing, I think the organization culture and it will manifest throughout the organization. So I feel agile coaches works with teams. Okay. And idea of agile coach is to make okay the team self-organizing, self-learning, and self-improving. I think that if you are able to achieve as a coach, that will be great. So remember, like I said in my earlier um, uh, webinars, like coaching is always a short-term strategy. It's not a long-term strategy. You are there typically to solve a problem or enhance the outcome or make it better or whatsoever. So that's what is the thing, right? So this is something which no, I have seen many times when you are a coach. Okay, what you try to do, and no, I had no recently I did a media house. Okay, uh, there was a couple of guys who were employed as a coach, and uh, they did this coaching IC Agile, and they had done a good amount of uh, uh, some experience on as a coach, and they were had a lot of questionnaires to start with, right? And they used a lot of these questions for the teams to understand what they are doing, and that was little overwhelming uh, for the team. Given the team was a little new to this concept of coaching, so what I try to say is that don't have coaching only as the stance. If you have that only as a competency, that then that is the only tool you have is a hammer, then everything looks like a nail. Then you will only do what a coaching is required. You need to be able to switch the competencies if you are an agile coach. If you understand the competencies, and if you have, I assume that you have knowledge of Scrum Master, you can immediately see the difference between an agile coach and a Scrum Master. I think there is a big plethora of difference between what a Scrum Master is supposed to do, what an agile coach is supposed to do. I have also taken a webinar, okay, on what is the difference in agile coach and scrum master. There are two different levels of competencies, two different goals that they need to achieve, two different types of people with separate objectives that you need to have in the organization, right? So one of the things, right? No, I had just mimicked some situations that you might relate to yourself. Like, if you have been in the coaching world, or or even if you're a project manager or a team member, okay. Um, Try understanding, like, okay, if you are, this is like an exercise for you or a thought for a day, that you can imagine, okay, to be like, think of a challenge, okay, that you have, maybe as a team member or a project manager, whatever role you have. You should look at the competencies that I showed, the 8 competencies, and see that, okay, which of the competencies, okay, can solve the problem, okay. What you had tried so far, what has worked for you in the past, is it one competency, it is a combination of competencies? I think you should give some food for thought on these questions, right? So there are a lot of, like, this second one, frustrating coaching situations. Like, there are a lot of times, right, something doesn't work. Like, I do a lot of training, right? That's majorly our goal. Like, 80% of the time we are a kind of a content delivery company, and no, most of the time there are like L&D people who say that, okay, oh, this training is not working, okay. We have been doing it for long, okay. And we have recently moved to a model which we did for a very large telecom, Comviva in Gurgaon. Uh, we not only did training, we actually went into the mentoring and coaching space after the training, right? So we had a, a very good support from the leadership team and the L&D team to say that training is okay at phase one, but what after that? And they gave us a free hand. We developed a curated program for that, and then we changed our stance. I think that there was a for another large organization, we did the similar thing. That their problem was attrition. A lot of people were leaving the organization, and there were the transition, like knowledge transition, was not happening properly. So we actually gave some standard practice in training, but after that, there were mentoring and coaching things that we actually put together. So imagine, right? Okay, try to understand what are the competencies that you will develop. You have already the competencies. The coaching certificate will give you the knowledge to tackle more problems in a more structured way, right? But try to do this, like, look at your domain where were you 10 years, then 5 years, then where you want to be in future. There is no right answer for that, but try to think through all these things, okay. Okay, so no, that will help you, okay, to use, understanding of these competencies as very, very, very much required in true sense. So this is something which you can think about, how how we can learn and improve as well. Okay, so these are some of the things. The the basic core of this is, knowing yourself. The basic core of this is understanding yourself as a person. You're strong at something. Like, if I know that, my my training skills plus my consultative skills, I'm pretty good. My technical mastery is not that good. So you need to know yourself pretty well. There is another kind of a diagram by Mark Summers, and this is called the Agile Competency Wheel, which is a more elaborate way of doing things. Okay, which talks at the center is the self mastery, then this competencies, and at the broader level, what it means to do that competency. So it is very interesting. It's a little more specified than the Atkins competencies. So you should understand what it takes to be an coach. If you see here, there is no servant leader, which is a explicit mention here rather than implicit mention in the earlier coaching competency. The idea is to serve the business, serve the team, and they are being very explicit, which I like about that when it comes to a coaching assignment, right? So if you want to be a coach, okay, and that's the career path that you want to choose, I think these are some of the things that uh, you need to have a look at. Like I love transforming a transformation exercise. It's a mammoth exercise that builds your character in terms of, it's a very patient exercise dealing with a lot of people, changing the course of the organization. And many people, many organizations today are in need, according to me, to do that transformation. Okay, the world is changing rapidly, and if you don't do the transformation the way you think, I think you are on the verge of extinct. So I think we need, every company to need transformation. And how to do transformation is a question many people are grappling with. And that's where agile coaches or transformation leaders are in a lot of demand today. So these are some of the things you can explore. This is a agile competency wheel. You can type on internet or Mark Summers and you will get this details on this. Right. Any questions? No, please free to ask me. Although I have last 15 minutes for question and answer as well. Super. Right. So no questions. Okay, great. Sorry about this. Okay. Let me move ahead. And now I want to introduce disciplined agile, knowing what is the competencies that you need to have. Like there are other certification called IC Agile, which develops your coaching competency. Disciplined Agile is not developing your coaching competency. Disciplined Agile is a tool, is a ammunition that a coach can use, and that's where we feel that, okay, the disciplined agile coach using the coaching competency and plus the ammunition that the toolkit DA provides makes him a super coach. Okay, that's what, okay, that's how the disciplined agile gurus are marketing disciplined agile. But that's very true. Okay, disciplined agile, a coach generally has a lot of ammunition, which can be the agile and lean practices. Disciplined agile leverages all these practices together at one place, which a agile coach will use that to actually enable the teams or to solve the team's problem, to make them self-organizing or self-improving or self-learning. Okay, so disciplined agile as certificate not only talks about the competencies and the mindset and how to get the things done, it provides that ammunition to solve the problems as well, and that's where it differentiates, right? So, like I said, this, I think I spoke earlier on this. And it's very important to understand that it starts with teams. Okay, agile coach. Okay, the focus is with teams. It goes beyond the teams. Okay, and goes through the transformation from because I had done the value stream consultant. I think it focuses a lot on transformation. So there are two master level certifications in DA. One is the DAC, which talks about the bottom up approach from the team level to the leadership. But the value stream consultant talks about a top down approach, which is typically focuses at the organization level, correcting your value stream and bringing in the transformation. I think you need both to do the transformation. Right. So this is the coaching spectrum. Like I said, knowing yourself is the paramount importance. Okay, knowing yourself is the best thing that That is the fulcrum to do that, and then it starts with the team and the organization, right? So, like I was talking about disciplined agile, okay. No, I, I take, okay. I normally talk, okay, about some relevant topics, but I try to use disciplined agile in my slides because I am a big proponent of that, and no, I have been kind of evangelizing that because I see a lot of value in that. So, disciplined agile, just to tell you, when I say that it leverages a lot of this practices of lean and agile, which is one of the competencies of a coach, there are 143 decision points. 143 decision points, okay, which is huge, and there will be a plethora of options for each decision point. And this decision points are as per the context in the team operates. So the team can actually, is given on the platter that what they should do, which method or which lean or agile practice they should use depending on the situation. They don't have to borrow, dig in internet or whatsoever, or talk with some wise agile coach to do that. The disciplined agile provides you that, and then it provides a roadmap, how to deliver the value better given that decision point is, right. So I think the ammunition that DA provides to a coach helps him to deliver outcomes better as a coach. Otherwise, you need to network with other coaches, you need to find out whatever, you need to draw from your experience, which might not be always possible. Given that current situation, it requires such a demand of agile coaches out there. So I think this actually helps a lot. And these are the how you actually do this. I don't think this is important from today's point of view, but um, the disciplined agile talks the disciplined agile coach talks a lot of things, right? Like I said, self-organizing, self-learning, self-improving is one of the big things, okay, of a disciplined agile coach. It gives you ammunition in terms of a coach playbook where you assess what are the opportunities, how to make an improvement board, how to actually enhance the. So it gives you this playbook is like an Excel sheet, and generally used with Miro whiteboards. Okay, so it's somewhere as a tool for the coach to help the team navigate their problems. So this is something which is going to be really useful. These are the different things, okay, which are covered in the disciplined agile coaching segment or the coaching workshop, which is very interesting because there is no theory in disciplined agile coaching workshop. It's only experiential learning. Okay, so they give you a pre-read before the workshop where you read some material, and in the workshop, it's only activities and experiential learning, which is a very okay. As an instructor here, it was very challenging for me when I did a couple of first of my workshop where you need to be really attentive because there is no theory, there is no fixed agenda. It's more of you're drawing from your experience, helping the team, and making the team make sense out of what they're doing and using that in real life. So how you can mimic this situation, all situations of real life situations, how you can mimic them, how you can use them, that makes that disciplined agile coach workshops pretty interesting, right? Um, So this is the coach certification from Disciplined Agile. That what we have here. Okay. So this is the journey which starts from the, as you must be aware, at the beginner level, the intermediate, and this is the master level, which is the DA coach. Right. So I placed the DA coach somewhere here. Okay. And this is some comparison that we made. Okay. There is no hard and fast, but we believe that a DA coach should be require a certain amount of expertise in agility. uh, uh, it's a when you require little fairly complex uh, complexity in the organization, you are dealing with a DAC or a disciplined agile coach. These are some popular other certifications that I try to map along with the disciplined agile. Right. So this is our LinkedIn group. Okay. I would actually put that in the chat session. No, and I'll give you the CCRS code as well. But this is the LinkedIn group for Disciplined Agile. Anyone wants to join and contribute and become a collaborator. Okay, please and see many updates on Disciplined Agile. Please join this group. Happy to have you guys there. It's the second largest group of Disciplined Agile in the entire world. Uh, and these are before I open up for question and answers. Okay, uh, I don't know what is the time. Okay, it's 8:41. Okay, so we are like 3 minutes before time, I guess. But before I open it, this is our dates. We do all these three major certifications of Disciplined Agile. The DSSM is hardly a week away or 2 weeks away, and the DVSC sorry, DVSC is also 3 weeks away. So these are the DSC and DVSC timings. So we have right. So we have released some. Excuse me. We have released some 10 episodes on our podcast. We call it broadcast. Okay, because of the ProThoughts. Okay, but yeah. So that's something 10 episodes on Disciplined Agile. You can have a look at that. It's available on all these 5 channels. So you can have a look at that as well. So before we open, we say a thank you and do that. I want to open it for questions and answer. So right. So any questions answered, please type in the chat, please, or the question answer panel. Anyone? Okay, I will type the LinkedIn group that okay if anyone wants to join. I will also give the CCRS code that you guys want. Okay, so that you can claim one PDU for attending the today's webinar. Any questions or answers? Questions? Any questions probably from anyone? Okay, it's great to have a question. Okay. After the DSSM certification, what is the best certification to do? Okay, glad that you asked the question. So the originally disciplined agile was made as okay a journey to be a coach. So disciplined agile is designed to make you a coach, not a scrum master. After DSSM, the disciplined agile coach is what you need to earn so that you will actually complete that journey. Okay, you become a coach. So if you're using the disciplined agile toolkit, it shows you to do the coach. Whereas the DVSC is used to improve the organizational agility. It's not really in line with the other certification. Otherwise, that was the journey to make you a coach. DVSC is very rich in content, okay, and it is focused to make you okay, transform organization to develop organizational agility. But if you are working with teams, I think, and you want to be a coach, that's how it is. So technically, after DSSM, you can either do DSC or you can do DVSC. I hope I answer your question, Leela. If you need more details, we can always talk. Okay. I will also give my LinkedIn ID uh, so that we can get connected, everyone, for everyone. So we can always be connected. It's a small world, and I will be happy to stay connected. Or you can type my name. We can always stay connected there. So this is my LinkedIn ID for everyone, and happy to get connected with any one of you, and we can always have offline chat as well. Happy to do that. Any other questions, people? Okay, I generally give a 15-minute question and answers so that question answer is very good. Like it's a open wheel conversation rather than my fixed agenda conversation, and maybe that helps me to digress a little bit. If there are questions, they are very useful for other people as well. Someone actually raised the hand. You can type in the question and answer. That will be great. Yeah, go ahead, Leela. Type your question. Happy to answer. You're making a statement which I made, or you're still typing the question. Yeah, true, very true. Most lot of organizations are moving toward agility. The reason agility, I have done in many presentations, many webinars. Agility is a mindset, is the way you think, is about delivering value. When I say value, uh, no, in a lean value is how the users, what the users will consume. It's about having some core concepts of doing the thing in a right way, uh, and and giving value early, reducing the cost of delay is what is agility, right? But what is your question is that I don't see all the agile principle uses. Are we really saving time? Agility is not about saving time. So I did this exercise, Leela, with one of my projects where we did traditional one team and then we did agility with one team. Okay, both did almost in the same time. What agility people gave was the correctness of the solution, which I think is a better quality. Okay, where people were more happier, more people in the sense the customers were more satisfied with the output than the traditional. This is the experiment I did. Okay, uh, but traditional might also work in some organizations where the predictability is better. Okay, where people are more comfortable with the approach. You can't just enforce agility where people are more comfortable with a traditional approach where they're not ready to change the structure, everything. You can't just enforce. Then it will not. Then it's agile in name only, and it's a double work. Okay, so people will only do ceremonies for the sake of ceremonies, but the mindset is traditional. So you need to understand where to implement what depending on the context, right? So if your question is straightforward timelines, are we really saving time in agility? I don't think so. We are saving time. Agility is not about speed. A traditional project management is about performance, about speed. Agility is not about speed. It's about the correctness of the solution. I hope I answer your question, but we can always chat more on that. Good. Okay. Super. Thank you, Leela. Okay. Good that we are agreeing. Okay. Super. Great. Any other questions from anyone else? Okay. Call it off today's session. I hope it was valuable. It was some knowledge taken, and you increase that competency. So I am trying to take some topics and make it simpler for you to understand, and that's what I am trying to do. And nothing is really difficult. Try to be simple, and the agility concept is also simple. Okay, nothing like a complex thing. Complex things are really scary. So these are okay, good simple things. I hope you got some value add, and you know what it means to be an agile coach, what it takes to be an agile coach, what are the competencies required agile coach. We can always elaborate, talk more on that. Okay, you have my LinkedIn ID, happy to get connected with you. So wish you all well. Okay, any questions, anything, you can get back to us. This sorry, I too much. I don't know whether I'm sharing the screen now. So thank you guys a lot. Okay, thank you so much for attending. I think now I'm sharing the screen. Thank you so much for attending the webinar. This is the number, this is the email ID, this is the website. If you have any questions, happy to answer the questions, and happy to be in touch for any help that you require. So warm namaste again, and have a great day for all of you. Bye. See ya.